Quotes. Like the sea in the winter. Okay. You get the idea. Quotes. They're good. I love them. I feel that they bring in sort of a third party perspective, and often they say what we want to say in shorter and more clear terms. So I like to use them. It's a habit I've grown into and I still quite like. And I get quite a bit of good feedback in my books from the quotes. They do take some time, which makes them worth it. Or you can put that the other way around. They're worth it because they take time. And I'm going to do a quick session here just on my niece's book to give you an idea of how I do it. I use, so what I'm doing, I'm looking for a quote to start off the chapter. And it often sets the tone or the theme or the subject. And if it works out right, then it matches up exactly with what I'm trying to say. Now, here's a little bonus pro secret tip is that often I find a quote and think, wow, that quote is so spot on. I need to write a chapter based on that quote. So let's just do a couple examples. I'll show you what I mean, and you'll get the idea. I'm at brainyquote.com. There are a gazillion quote sites. I happen to like this one. It's not the best. I don't know. You can shop around. If you find a better one, let me know. And all right, so here we go. So this is where topics and keywords can get interesting, and you learn a bit more even what it is you're trying to say, and you can learn about it through quotes. And then often, as I said, you find maybe accidental topics that you weren't planning on. So her book is about at the moment it's about an eye mask, a sleeping mask that eye cover you put over your eyes. Often you see people with that on airplanes, but she has discovered that it works well for better sleep habits, better sleeping, deeper sleep, longer sleep, more thorough sleep. So I could start with something like sleep and see what we get. And because in the end, it is about better sleep, sort of her deeper. Here we go. All right, see, look at this. One of the first ones here. Tired minds don't plan well. Sleep first, plan later. Right? So I could save that already. Now, often I will just click it. Then I'm going to, and sometimes the highlighting works kind of weird. I'm going to do copy and then it goes away, but I think I have it copied. So now I'm in her book. I'm going to come over here. I'm just going to paste. Now I get all these links, and it's nice to link to the actual quote. I don't necessarily do it in the book, but I do it maybe at the end of the book because there's this read more at thing. Okay, so I like to give it some kind of different. Here, we'll do a quote. I'm going to make a chapter title, and then I'm going to give that a chapter title, and then here's the quote, and then okay. Now I want this quote, and I'm not gonna format it too crazy because we're gonna do that later. So I just might do something like italics. And again, to keep it simple, I'm just gonna do that here. If I do a hard return, it tends to mess things up. So there you go. There's my chapter title. Well, I don't have a chapter title. Here's my quote, and here's my chapter. Now, often, if I didn't have a chapter title in mind, this might even give me an idea for a chapter title. Here, tired minds don't plan well. Sleep first, plan later. So I could completely copy and paste this as my chapter title, right? And that's just based on that quote. And then we get the quote, and then we acknowledge Walter Reich here, who came up with that quote. But that's an interesting title, right? Sleep first, plan later. All right, I'm stopping with that one for number one. Let's go back for more. Now remember, she has an eye mask. I'm just going to do a new search. And remember, there could be many more. I'm just trying to get an example here. Sleep, eye mask. I don't know what I'm going to get. Let's see. Now, what's nice is that, who was that last quote? Walter Reich, who I don't know. But what can be interesting is if you can find big names, recognized names, and people tend to, even if it's an actor or something, people tend to sort of, quote, believe it more if it comes from a well-known name. And some political figure, some historical figure, some, Einstein quote, it goes a long way. Let's see. What do we got? If you see someone playing IMAX sleeping, probably me. Well, whatever. Really lucky I can sleep on planes. I don't really can. I'm good at it because I travel so much. Okay, see this? For me, being on planes is like a sacred time. Sacred time. It's the only time to zone out and meditate. Well, you know what? That actually aligns with her book quite well. Okay, so I don't know who Stella Maxwell is. If I wanted to do my homework, I could search a little more, but for the moment, I'm just going to copy this, bring it over here, chapter title, paste in, and again, I could put these links in some kind of addendum at the end, but for now, I'm just want to get it in here. Copy this chapter text down here. I'm just going to make this super simple and just italicize it, just to remind me. So let's see, what does she say? What's the main point here? I think I'm good at it because I travel so much. For me. Okay, so here, sacred time. That's kind of neat, right? And then here's this chapter, and this chapter, make this a chapter heading, sacred time. Now, this chapter might be about sacred time. This time before you go to sleep, this time when you're traveling. What she's saying is this time when she puts on the eye mask, or Stella Maxwell here, she puts on her eye mask, she's traveling. That's sacred time for her. And I think that's what Taylor is getting at. So here we go. We just found two, just like that. Now I'm going to stop there because I think you get the idea. So I think we have two good ones here. And you see where I'm going. Hopefully this can be something inspirational, and just think of, if you can find the big names, that helps. If not, the better quote is better than a big name, I find. But mix it up. Find some big names, maybe there's other quote sites, but Brainy Quote works for me. And see how it goes, see what you come up with. And I'd like to do this at every single chapter. I mean, that's just my thing. You don't have to do my thing. But I like it, and it gives a bit of weight, a bit of third-party perspective into my topic. All right, that's it for Brainy Quotes and using a quote at the beginning of every chapter.